Good morning. I guess y'all are going to get a different view this morning. Um, it's Stacy. We are walking in my shoes, and this is Loving My Veteran. Sorry if you get a little noise from the background. We're still on vacation. I tried this on the regular computer, and somehow it wanted to reset Facebook this morning. So, sorry. Yeah, it is what it is, babe. So today's topic is what is normal. It's going to lead us into the series that we're going to do on, not this Thursday, but next Thursday, the movie on Medicating Normal and prescribing normal. And what it is, what is your normal? Is normal all joy? Is normal all happiness? Is normal all of these things that we do? Do you expect pain in normal? Do you expect laughter in normal? Do you expect tears in normal? And normal is all of the above. Normal, it is okay to grieve. It is okay to be angry. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to be happy. It is okay to be acceptable. That's all part of normal. And what happens is that we get so caught up in that normal should be this perfect little world where we feel good. And we don't always feel good. And so there's so many people so many times that want to give us a pill. Give you a pill to make you feel normal. Give you a pill to make things right. Give you a pill to not let you feel. We can't deal with our emotions if we don't learn to feel. If we don't learn sad, if we don't learn anger, if we don't learn rage, if we don't learn joy, if we don't learn happiness, there's not a magic pill for all of these things. And I think so often we think that numb is normal, and that's not true. So we see that with our veterans a lot. We see that those times of disconnect, the times that they're in their head, the times that they may be angry, the times that they may be tearful. And so we sit here and we think that, well, they can't be that way. They can't be forgetful. They can't be angry. They can't be sad. They can't be numb. And sometimes we have to let that happen, just like the same is true for us. We don't always have to be that happiness. We don't always have to live in the moment of that happiness. We don't always have to be in those moments of joy. It is not our responsibility or our right. It's not our responsibility or our right to make everybody else happy. So I'm probably going to go inside because my mama's down there and she's being a little talkative this morning, and you can kind of hear her. But before I go, look, this is the view. I'm going to give you the view from where we're at because y'all know we're on vacation. This is our view. We have our little animals here and the trees, and it's absolutely spectacular. So I just wanted to show you what our normal was like today. But anyway, I'm coming back inside because Mom's being a little loud. You can hear her over the balcony. So what is our normal? We don't have to have that. We have to have our moments of anger. We have to have our moments of sad. We have to have our moments of frustration. And we all have to have them, and they're okay. How do you know what love is if you don't experience pain? How does your veteran who has seen some of the most horrific things, how is he supposed to come home and be happy all the time? He can't be. Just like we can't. If you've ever witnessed a tragedy in your life, you can't always be happy. If you've had a bad childhood, you don't wallow in the bad childhood, but you remember some of those events. If you were a victim of sexual assault, you don't wallow in sexual assault, but you still mourn or grieve those events. And we have triggers, and they happen. But it is all part of the process of life. You can't get through whatever it is that was bad in your head if you don't go through the steps of denial. You know, how often do we say, I can't imagine what you've been through. It must have been horrific. And that veteran will say, no, it was fine. It was fine. Or somebody will say to me, you know, it was fine. Stacey, what about this? Oh, it's fine. It's not always fine. And it's okay not to be fine. It is okay not to have fine all the time. And we forget that. It is okay not to do that, but we go through our denial. We go through, oh, that event didn't bother us. Oh, that event is okay. No, that event is not okay. And no, that event is not fine. But we all go through that stage of denial. You know, even in us with our relationships with our veteran. You know, when we first, well, it's okay that we have these explosive moments. It's not really that explosive. Or when he shuts down for days, it's okay. It's not really that bad. Yeah, it is. It is bad when it's explosive. It is bad when they shut down. It is bad when they disappear. And we don't accept that. So you have to accept, you got to get past that denial and get on to the next step. You know, and then we have the anger, and the anger comes out. The anger comes out in them, and the anger comes out in us, and the anger comes out. And where we keep in this cycle is we don't go through all the steps because we think we should always be in normal and not feeling this way. And so we don't accept what is. And we do that a lot. We do that a lot. So you go through these steps and you're like, well, he's talking to me a certain way or puts me down a certain way. And we just kind of go through this step of denial. Oh, it's PTSD, so we're just going to let it go. And when we do that, we're denying the root of the problem and we're ignoring it. And we don't ever address it. So we don't get to that next level. We don't sit back and say, this isn't working for me. This isn't what it's about here. So we have to get into that normal. And you have to address it. And when you don't address it, even your own feelings or their feelings, when you don't address something sad and you don't address something that makes you mad and you just keep ignoring it, it just festers. So we have to learn to accept, go through our stages. Then, I love the bargaining phase. The bargaining phase is kind of like the coolest phase ever. Well, if you don't explode today, I won't do this. Or this may be a trigger for you, and if you don't trigger me today, I'm not going to trigger you. And it becomes this tit for tat, and you don't get anywhere. So you kind of do this thing in your head, right, where you're like, oh, well, let me just try this today. If we have a good day and you don't do something, then I'm not going to do it back. How many times do we argue? And it's like, well, 6 weeks ago you said this. You have to let it go. You cannot bargain this. If you don't like this behavior in you and you don't like this behavior in them, you can't bargain and say, when you're good today, I'm going to be good. You can't do it with anything. You can't do it, you know, God, if you just give me the strength to get through one more day, I'll do this, or I'll be a better parent if you know, you allow me this moment, or I'll be a better wife if you allow me this moment. You don't bargain. It is what it is, and you have to put it out on the table, and it's tough, but those are the stages we go through, and that's what we have to go through. And if we don't go through it, we neglect it, and we forget it, and we don't go further. And so then we think that there's supposed to be this remedy that we're always happy. And that's not true. Numb is not normal. Are there going to be moments that we go in our room and we lock ourselves in the room and we cry? Absolutely. But everybody does that. Not just PTSD spouses, not just TBI spouses. You know, I found that I spend more time not being angry at Carl, but at the system. I spend more time not being angry at him, but I spend more time being angry at the system. I spend more time being angry that our system has allowed TBI to go on and not address it. I spend more time being angry that they throw drugs at our PTSD patients and say, oh, you have a mental disorder, then address it. I spend more time being angry about the denial of services. What do you mean he has suicidal thoughts, or we finally get them convinced, or we finally work together and come up with a plan that we need counseling, that they need counseling, they need professional, let's talk counseling. We finally get to that step and they have agreed to take that step, and then the VA comes back in and says, oh, I'm sorry, we'll see you in 3 months. What do you mean you'll see them in 3 months? Do you know what it's been to get to this step, for everybody to admit this is a better plan for us and you're going to see them in 3 months? That's where I'm starting to get angry. It is in that aspect. I get angry when I see the fact that there are so many people who are sick because they drank water they weren't allowed to drink. They weren't supposed to drink, that nobody should have drank. That's where I'm starting to find my anger. And instead of dealing with my anger and pushing my anger off onto my veteran, I am now putting my anger into positive places. But it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be mad. It's okay. And that is part of normal. And we forget that. We think that normal should be happy. What the hell are we supposed to do, y'all? Are y'all supposed to say, oh, guess what? My veteran has finally decided that he's going to go to therapy, and we're going to go get real help here. Oh, and you guys can't see him for 3 to 6 months. That's perfect. We're just going to hang out. No, it's not perfect. Because God forbid, I'm going to be the one who's going to go off to jail in like the handcuffs, because I'm going to go and be like, what the F have you just done? This man served this country. This man had bullets shot at him. This man did all of this stuff. And you are going to say he doesn't deserve treatment today? No. Not going to happen anymore. That's where my anger's come. It's not coming to him. So we have to be able to be angry. We have to be able to negotiate this stuff out. It's like we found that some of these veterans, and this was about ready to blow my mind. You want to talk about anger and go back to anger and rage, and that I'm allowed to be angry. I am. But instead of staying angry, we're taking steps to fix this. If you don't update your DEERS record, which most people figure out when you get out, you're done with DEERS. But if you don't update your DEERS record to have the correct information in it, when they audit it back to your VA record, they just shut your benefits off and don't tell you why. And then you get to go back through the whole rigmarole to get them back. But you got to update your DEERS record. But guess what? Where you update your DEERS record is closed because of COVID. So you can't update your DEERS record. So you can't get your benefits back. And hello to the cycle. Okay? So... yeah, I mean, the meds, Sarah, there's a whole thing. They gave them meds for malaria to make them super warriors. That's a whole, we might even talk about that tomorrow, because you're right on there. We lose relationships, this anger that goes on. You know, come on. Put your anger into a positive place. Get your anger. I could sit here and wallow in this anger. I could wallow in all this anger that I carry from reading the stories, from looking at what's happened to me, from looking what's happened to Carl, from looking what's happened to these guys exposed to the burn pits, what's looking at all of these things that go on. I could be angry. But wallowing in anger doesn't get a solution. So even in our relationship, okay, even in our relationships, when we get angry, we can wallow in that anger, but it's not going to fix anything. We have to get through that stage of anger and focus it to the right place. Now, how do we deal with our anger and our rage and our stuff? Well, for those of us that are tired of the medicine situation and tired of the way they're being treated situation, we've all stepped on board to Project Your Voice, and we're going to fight this stuff head on, and we're going to be the force to be reckoned with. And that's how we get positive. We educate people. How do you get past the angry with your veteran? How do you get past the angry of what it is? That's where you've got to refocus and look at the good days and look at the good moments and look at the good. And then you start to refocus and you look at your life becoming better. It's all about that. Yeah. And I mean, colostomy bag, burn pits, drugs. Look at what happens. Look at what happens. You know, and then you don't understand why people feel the way they feel. You know, as spouses and family, we are some tough broads. We're some tough people. Okay? We're some tough people. We fight for them. We stay by them. When people think that they're broken and we walk away, we're not like that. We have passion and we fight. Do I get angry at Carl? Absolutely. Does he get angry at me? Absolutely. That's normal relationship. But we just get passionate and we fight for them. And that's what our life is about. Taking your anger, taking your rage, going through the stuff. Stop feeling sorry for ourselves. Yeah, we go through it. Yes, and you know what? You're going to go back through these cycles over and over and over again. But you can't stay in that negative cycle. You can't stay in the, oh, poor me. We find that our veterans get stuck in that poor me place. Some of our veterans get stuck in that poor me place. And that poor me place leads them to disengage, completely disengage. Or it leads them to anger, to the other stuff. It's all of those things. And then eventually suicide. Lisa's talking about when they choose natural medicine, they don't want to help. Of course they don't want to help. Follow the money. Follow the money. Okay? Follow the money. They don't want natural remedies because they don't get kickbacks from acupuncture. They get kickbacks from the manufacturers of Paxil and Klonopin and all the drugs that they're throwing at you. Follow the money. That's what makes you angry. And Sarah, you're right. When our veterans find out that there is a force behind them that's going to stand up for them, things are going to explode. And we have to be the one that becomes that force. We have to be the ones that, yeah, we're real. We're honest. Things are not a walk in the park every single day. They're not. But they're not bad every minute of the day either. And then take this anger from where your veteran is. And the drugs they're thrown and the stuff they're given and them being brushed off and pushed off and acting like they don't matter. Take that and don't direct that anger to your veteran. Direct that anger where it needs to go and become a force. That's what makes everything better. Okay? That's what makes everything better. I was about to say, I don't care if he gets upset, but I'm always the one that feels comfortable with it. Yeah, they do. And here's the problem. They lash out at the people that they're most comfortable with and that they love the most because you are there for them. And sometimes they don't know how to communicate well. And when they find that you're standing up for them, and when they find that you're accepting them, and when they find that you don't put them in this box, hey, I'm broken, I'm defective, I'm screwed up, and you don't put them in that pigeonhole box, your relationship changes. And the other thing, and Sarah's right, my normal is not your normal, and you have to define your own normal. Every single person is different. My normal and Carl's normal are not the same. Some of the biggest arguments we have ever gotten in has been, well, you're wound. You need to stop. You need to take time off for you. You need to do this. You need to do that. That's not the way I function. I function 1,000 times better if I have a lot of pressure. I function better. That is me. That is not him. And some of the biggest arguments we've ever gotten in have been, you need downtime, you need to unwind. And he's right, I do need downtime and I do need to unwind. I just don't do it well. But I function better under pressure. That's just me. What was the thing you said that causes them to disengage? Anything can cause them to disengage, Melanie. Anything. Every veteran, again, is different. And so sometimes feeling they disengage because they're stuck in their head, they're thinking about their space. Sometimes they disengage because they don't want to be part of it, because they're afraid it will hurt you. Sometimes it is just something they have to work through on their own. And how you can get them to re-engage, honestly, is being there for them. Communication is truly the key. But you can't expect to go from not talking effectively to having great communication overnight. There are still times that Carl says to me, I'm stuck in my head. And he's disengaged and stuck in his head. And you know what? I have to allow that to happen. I have to be okay with that. The difference is you can't be disengaged for weeks and months at a time. So being disengaged for a few hours, a few whatever, that's what happens. You sit with them when they're disengaged. You love them through it. But there becomes a time that you have to look at them and say, get out of your pity party. Let's get your ass up and let's get going. And create the little things that they have to do. Only does when he drinks too much and he's fighting his demons, so he leaves. And some of them won't. Whenever he disengages and then blames it on me. You can, in this cycle, Melanie, message me and we'll work on yours, okay? There's some simple steps that it is a process. And I think the biggest thing is that learning to take that first step. And, learning what is that first step. Learning, it's not going to happen overnight. Learning that, first of all, it's not you. You can't blame you. And you can't allow him to blame you. And you can't argue about it. I mean, you can't sit here and say, well, it's not my fault. No, it's not your fault. Arguing with that is a big deal. And so you got to let this go. And I'm going to tell you something, when they've got to want it too. Sarah says that, and it's very true. They do have to want it too. But if all they've lived is a life in a relationship with you where they don't see a change, remember, we're seeing it, so are they. When we're at our worst, so are they. When we're in our beginning stages of this relationship with all the ick and the stuff going on, y'all, they're not dumb. They see it. Okay? And so we talk about wanting it too. We're the ones who are admitting there's an issue and we need to make the changes. They know there's an issue, but when they admit that there's an issue with the problem, then what happens is again, you're taking somebody who is programmed to feel defective and you're adding to it, so they become more broken and more defective because now they know that there's an issue. But when they see the changes starting, they jump on board at a level that you just have no idea. And it's slow at first, but it snowballs. I mean, I am sitting here with Carl at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. Now, granted, we haven't been to the parks, but whatever. And with my mother and family friends that he has never met. So there's 3 other adults that he's never met, and we've had her 2 grandchildren there. And then other people come in and out, and this man has been totally not triggered. He has been engaged. He's had conversations. We've done some us time, and we've allowed, there's places that he goes off by himself and sits. But you think about where we are and the number of strangers and the number of people and the number of everything, and he's functioning. So those are victories in the wanting it too. But it's been communication. It's okay for him to come and tell me. Um, it's okay for him to come and tell me, I can't do this. I need some space. And that came from communication. Um, yeah, when they get stressed and they get triggered, there is nothing, nothing that when they get triggered that can get them out right away. But again, you just, yeah, this is not hard. It is a lot of work. It is a ton of work, but we do get through it. And y'all, it is okay when we talk about normal. It is okay for all of these emotions to be part of normal. And I don't think people accept that. We tend to think we're going to be numb. No, it's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to kick things. It's okay to do whatever. It's okay to go through your moments of rage. It's okay to go through your sets of denial. It's okay to go through frustration. They're all normal. We can't be numb. There's no magic pill for happiness. And I think that's what the society has become, is that there is a magic pill for happiness. There is a magic pill that we take that makes us happy. There isn't a magic pill that makes us happy, because when we take magic pill 1 that's going to make us happy, then we take magic pill 2 because magic pill 1 isn't working to make us happy, and then we take magic pill 3. You know what? It is okay, just exactly like Michelle said, it is okay not to be okay. It is okay not to be okay. And it is okay to feel the way they feel. We stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge just because it's more spread out. And of course, Mom has points. So Mom has vacation club here. And we did the animals and stuff. But it's just a lot of it is going to be park layouts. And, you know, Lisa, we can actually do a thing on this if you want to, if y'all want to talk about like trips and ways to do it. We do this well with him. The slippery slope with the men. Y'all become educated. Become educated in your veterans medicine. Let me tell you that again. Become educated in your veterans medicine. I'm not saying medicine doesn't work. I take medicine every single day or I wouldn't be here. But become educated. Become educated in side effects, how they work. And the key is this: are they dealing with the root of the problem when we medicate them too much? There's not a pill for happiness. There's a pill for numbness. Nice. How about Atlantic City or Tahoe, babe? So, and we can, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed. And I'll even do one off on the side about Disney travel trips. I've been here so much in my life that, you know, we talk about things like fireworks and whatever. So I'll do one and help you guys too, because we've done this so many times. So anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go. I know I'm probably running late because I don't have a thing. My laptop decided it was gonna whatever, so I'm on the phone part, so I don't get to see it all. But I'm Stacy, y'all. This has been Walking in My Shoes. We are loving my veteran. I'm working here today and tomorrow, and then I'm going home. So y'all, send messages. Those of you who need it. Yeah, it is. You have to be able to little steps to get to where they're good. And no matter what, you have to be able to allow. Do not ever, when you go anywhere with your veteran, anywhere, Walmart, the grocery store, Disney, vacation, whatever, you have to be able to accept the fact that they can say, I can't. I need to get out. I'm tired. You have to be able to accept that. And if you can't, then you're never going to have a good trip anywhere. Just going to tell you. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. If you need anything, let me know. Melanie, message us. You can either message me directly at Stacy, or you can do the page, and I'll get back with you, because I think we need to get you a starting place, sweetie. All right, y'all have a blessed day, and I will talk to you later. This has been Stacy, walking in my shoes, loving my veteran. Have a blessed day.